Sorry about that, guys. The game crashed on me again. This is the third time while playing this game that I've had things crash on me. And let's be honest, I ain't been enjoying it. Like, that's probably been my biggest pain in the butt about this game, is the number of crashes I've had on the PlayStation. Let's see how far back it's gonna put me.
Gotta find a way to damage him.
Okay.
Those sentry guns should do it.
Are you sure you brought enough firepower?
Turret to sink to Damien's weapon. Stay aim where he ends.
Tell me, James. How'd my father cash in his chips? Did he have any last words? They did mention he should have had that vasectomy.
Okay. Turrets follow Damien's every move. Somebody's running now.
Okay, that was dumb on my part.
Maybe I can override the turrets. Let's turn the tables.
There. Fun's over.
One more turret. Let's go.
I can't say I'm gonna miss the old bastard. His lecturing, his saintly posturing, the way that he carried his sins with such earnest conviction. What a fraud! At least I'm honest about who I am.
On that thought, while I fetch the world's smallest violin.
Got him.
And you're gonna stop me? No need. Kill yourself just to get to me. You don't have it in you. Well, you got me pegged. The truth is, you have set me free, James. I have never felt so alive. Best go out on a high, then. Stay down. All I gotta do is walk out the door, and I'm home free. Just lie back and accept defeat. Nothing to be ashamed of. Lord knows you tried. Why do you keep on fighting? After all you've done for these people, they locked you up.
Put down a bit.
I'm afraid the boys in accounting would disagree. Fine. I'll bring your neck. All mouth. It's end of the line, James. You have failed. Everyone around you. Your parents. Your mentor. Your friends. Even for all your pluck, you could save a single one. And now you will die. Unknown, unloved, and alone. Not alone!
Just like at the beginning of the game. That him? Oh no, that's Angela. Sorry, I can't pronounce her name properly, and I'm sure I just butchered that shit. Oh, come on!
Don't get used to it.
The service was beautiful. I particularly enjoyed the bagpipes and rifle salute.
Yes. Well, Webb was a national treasure. Nothing less would do.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
Spies live and die in the dark, Bond. You want medals? Join the Olympics. In case you're wondering, all charges against you have been dropped.
Bright's a reasonable man.
Bright's a survivor. We came to an understanding. I testify that all he's guilty of is keeping bad company. He gets off my back and doubles our budget. Everybody wins. Congratulations. I suppose this makes you 001.
Wouldn't be right. Actually, Mom, I thought since I was the 7th recruit.
Happens to be my lucky number. Just don't tell anyone.
It's not over, you know. Someone pulled me out of that water and made off with Thea. There's only one person it can be.
There's an unseen hand operating in the shadows, playing a game we know nothing about. How that is even possible keeps me awake at night. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to do some digging. 007.
Mom, I thought you'd never ask.
And that is the perfect setup for a sequel. Hell yeah! Woo! James Bond will return. That was a great game. I'm a little disappointed that it glitched out on me right there at the end, kind of messing up the flow of the stream. But let's start with what your boy liked about the game. First of all, the graphics, top notch. I don't think anybody was shocked by that. The gameplay throughout was top notch. I don't think anybody's really shocked about that. Iowa Interactive is something, is a company that is, everybody knows they're known for the Hitman franchise. And, I mean, that's just right up this alley. James Bond is just an extension going forward of that. You know what I mean? And, so it's very natural that they would do a good job at this. The cast throughout was amazing. All of the side characters I loved. Even, I had a little hesitation about Q in the beginning, but even that won me over in the end. I wish I could think of the gentleman's name that they got to play Bond. He was amazing. I know that he's the same actor that played Dexter in Dexter Original Sin, and he was great in that, and he did an even better job in this, and I can't wait to see the sequel. There better be a sequel. There better, I always hear me, there better be a sequel. I already want it. If somebody came to me and said, hey, give me $1,000 and I'll put the sequel in your hand right now, I'd do it. That was amazing. Like I said, acting from top to bottom, the actor that played Morgan in The Walking Dead playing Greenwell, was amazing. Fantastic character. I really, really like the characters of Cressida and Morgan. I understand that they want to build up Bond as a solo act, so you kind of have to pull them to the side. Morgan died, and Cressida, I think, was crippled. Maybe it was a temporary injury. We don't know. We didn't see her anymore. And I kind of hate that we didn't get any more Cressida, especially whenever it came to getting payback for the people that killed Morgan. I felt like maybe she should have been involved in that, but that just speaks even more to how great all of those characters were. The actress that did Moneypenny, they were all amazing. That very fresh spin takes on those, but at the same time, it harkened back to something that I remember being a huge James Bond fan growing up. You know, the 007, License to Kill, you know, got all the gadgets, Rico Suave kind of character, can get any woman he wants. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention about this, is that there was a lot of concern going out before the game came out about James Bond. Patrick Gibson, let's see, Moneypenny was Karen Lester, let's see, Greenwell, y'all there? Come on, I must have missed him, but all those guys were great. But it was very fresh spins on all of the characters, but at the same time, it did harken back to what we all know and love about Bond, like I said before. And there was a lot of concern going into this. I don't know who it was that said it, but one of the game creators said that Bond was going to have a very modern sensibility, and that there was going to be some changes. And a lot of people assumed that meant that we were going to get a version of Bond that was not a ladies' man, that wasn't, being that kind of character. But that's not true at all. I mean, I think Bond slept with at least 3 different women in this game alone. Very, very awesome character. Very, very, very much James Bond. The other thing I loved about this is that we haven't gotten a game like this in a long time. That's just a good old-fashioned action romp game from beginning to end with a great story, a very James Bond story, a very fantastical story with elements of reality, elements of futuristic stuff that all fits in the Bond world. It was a globe-trotting adventure, very much like Uncharted. It had platforming, and the combat style was very, very much Uncharted. I mean, certain aspects of this game, you guys saw me play it. I could just go around just beating people's ass. I didn't need the gun and that stuff, which was awesome. And just different environments, different levels, a very globe-trotting adventure that had all kind of different scenery. I mean, just from beginning to end, all different kinds, all over the world. And it was truly amazing. I'm trying to think. My only really downside to the game was the crashes that I had. I don't get very many crashes with my video game, given that I'm a console player. The games are kind of built to very specific specs whenever you buy a console for gaming, and that's part of the allure to having a console. It's smaller, it doesn't take up a large area like a good PC would, and the games that you get on average are going to be built to spec. Now, I'm not saying I've never had a game crash on me before, but I've never had a game crash on me 3 times while playing it in a process, and that was a bit irritating at times. It was hard to get through, and especially considering maybe I'm a little overextending that, just because it cut me off right here at the end and really kind of messed up the flow of the stream. So now I'm gonna have like a 10-15 minute episode right here at the end, and it just kind of messes up the flow. But guys, I mean, this is one of those games, it only comes along once in a lifetime. We haven't gotten a game like this since Uncharted 4, and I would argue, and that's been about it. And this scratched that itch that I've had for a while over a game, and it has been a long, long time since I have played a game, put it down, and can't wait to pick it back up again. I have to make myself put it down. I mean, and here I am sitting there playing this in like 5 or 6 hour stretches. And guys, I gotta tell you the truth, I'm already thinking about getting back into it and starting the story back over at the beginning and experiencing the whole thing again. Very clearly, they had a setup for a sequel right there at the end. They very clearly were confident in this. And I don't think IO wasn't even a thing whenever people were saying that they were concerned. I bet they were just sitting back laughing and saying, you guys just wait. I did pre-order so I got the extended edition, and I haven't seen anything. Now, granted, I haven't moved around and looked in the different settings, but I haven't seen a ton of different settings for, what I got whenever I was supposed to get the giant skip, other than being able to play it a day in advance. And even that kind of pissed me off. And we're going into some of the negatives, because typically, whenever it says that I get to play the game a day in advance and I get to play it on 26th, I expect to be able to play it at midnight on the 26th. And that was part of my problem, in that I had actually got completely win set up for an entire live stream, and right there at midnight, I go to turn on my PC to see how long I've got before I can play the game, and I'm nowhere near it. Now, that you could probably say some of that's my fault because I wasn't paying attention, sure. But, typically I should be able to play the game on the 26th of midnight. That's the way a lot of this, all of the other stuff has been done, and it wasn't done that way this time. But that is nitpicking. That's me looking for negatives so that I'm not overly positive on the game and sounding like a simp. But I loved it. I had a blast. I'm tired. I'm hot. I'm sweating. And it's been a minute since the game has done that to me. It has been a minute since the game has done that to me. And it was amazing. Let's see if I can skip this, or I can. Okay. And we will. Trying to think any after credits, anything like that. Games don't normally do that, but I hope to real God that they actually do some kind of DLC. I hope that what they did at the end of it was set up for a sequel and not for the end. We got the Valhalla Protocol. Looks like we get to drive the car in different challenges and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll do a live stream doing some of that stuff. But guys, this was amazing. I can't wait to play it again. I might even play it again in stream and have more fun. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something like they did with Hitman and do Hitman contracts or whatever it was that they did with DLC, where they're constantly putting in new missions. That'd be cool. Do something like that. Little minor side missions for games. That'd be pretty cool. There'd be a lot that would have to go into that too, I guess. But guys, I had fun with this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And not much else to say other than, if you hadn't bought it and played it, buy it and play it. We need to show the industry that these are the kind of games that we want. Okay? No politics. None of that crap. Just good old-fashioned game with a good old-fashioned story that everybody can get in and play, and everybody can have a good time. And it was amazing. Guys, as always, remember that common sense is not that common. Know that I love you. Be patient with those around you. Know that I love you. The world gets tough sometimes, guys, but we got to have each other's back. So, like I said, again, I love you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Okay, 24 minutes still.